Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So, today we are discussing Celebrity Big Brother 3. There has been a lot of drama today. OMG, where to start? So, today was the Power of Veto meeting, and prior to that, Shayna still was like not confirming to Misha what she was going to do with the veto and how she was still planning on pulling Cynthia off with her veto and all this and that. And they were suggesting about having a conversation with Cynthia to let her know that she's not the target. And, basically Shayna was lying. She's going to use the veto except for she's pulling off Carson. So then we get to the veto meeting because it happened like right away. Like there was literally like an hour or a little shortly after that that the veto meeting was happening. And so what was taking place was TODD was going on this rampage because he's in his feelings about the dynamics of the house changing. And, basically him and Misha essentially panicked yesterday when Shayna won veto. So, they've been, shell-shocked since then. And, so TODD, he tries to go to talk to Shayna and, tries to, gaslight and say all this nonsense. And Shayna's not backing down. So then production cuts in the middle of this and goes right to the veto meeting. And I'm like, we are right here in the midst of it as things are getting heated. Like, what are you doing? And so we come back from the veto meeting and there's an argument. And at first I thought, wait, is TODD on the block? Is he the replacement nom? Because the way that TODD, you could hear TODD practically screaming. They never actually showed the argument, but what ended up happening was Cynthia and TODD had got into it. The backstory was Lamar Odom and TODD, I guess, were having a conversation. They were all at the table or whatever, and TODD basically has been complaining in some capacity still from the day that he was nominated, that Cynthia had voted against him, had voted for him to go. And so he tried to play in her face and say that everything was fine, everything was all good, but he was still holding on to it. So Lamar was like, you have to have forgiveness. You have to let things go. You can't keep holding on to this forever and ever. And so Cynthia picked up that they were talking about her. And so she's like, okay, well, let's have this conversation. Except for it turned into a screaming match. TODD got into Cynthia's face. There was at one point where Cynthia had walked away, and I think TODD was trying to ask her what was wrong because he's, of course, he sleeps like right outside of the pink room. And so, Cynthia's like, if I leave, it's fine. I leave with my integrity, this and that. But I'm going to be honest and say what I need to say. And Carson's all like, she's fine. She's fine. And so then, right, as soon as she goes in, TODD gives this weird face. And so then Cynthia, she comes right back out of the pink room. And she goes to TODD and she's like, and another thing. And I'm like, uh-oh. But what pissed me off was TODD getting into Cynthia's face. And it also pissed me off that, Carson is the one out of Lamar and, TODD and everything else that is defending Cynthia. He's the only person that's defending her, saying you don't get in a woman's face like that. And it was just very agitating because I'm like he was so heated. He was so mad. But Cynthia's thing is this. If you still had an issue with me voting you out over Teddy, why didn't you have a conversation with me? Why were you fake with me? And then Lamar Odom was quoting Cynthia and trying to imitate what she was saying, and she was like, and I don't have to eat your ribs or something along those lines. And it's right up there with Does Anyone Want Cake from older season. I just can't. I cannot. And I was just so agitated with Todd Bridges because he was being a jerk. And you could have had a calm conversation with Cynthia, but you wanted to get buck with her. And the issue with this is Teddy Mellencamp, who, of course, was the first boot. she said on her social media today that she had a similar situation with Todd as well, that he was up in her face, he was saying all of this stuff, it was the worst day that she had in the Big Brother house, and they cut the feeds right before it escalated. And that's what happened here. We could hear the arguing in the background, but they were showing us like Shayna and Chris Kirkpatrick and this and that, because at first I thought, oh, maybe Todd's the replacement nom and he's pissed and he's just going off on everyone. Oh, but no. Chris Kirkpatrick is the replacement nom. However, chaos has ensued with everyone else. Everybody else is cracked. If we knew that Chris Kattan leaving was going to have so many people cracked, we should have had him be the first boot. OMG. We would have had turned up feeds this entire time. Who knew it took Chris Kattan, poor Chris Kattan, who has, been calm, has been asleep all day, he gets up in the middle of the night to, sneak eat his cake, sneak eat Carson's cake and everything else. Meanwhile, he was the one keeping the house together. Oh my gosh. Like, it's so crazy. Real talk. It is very crazy. So, unfortunately, things were very awkward for a while. There was so much tension in the house, and it got to the point where Cynthia was upset, and you could tell she was teary-eyed, you could tell she was crying, and then she, I think got out later to go to the kitchen, and then Todd, who was sitting in the kitchen, at the table, Cynthia didn't even look at him or acknowledge him or anything. She bolted, straight to, cook something or do the dishes or whatever, and he gets up from there and bolts to the bathroom or the sauna area or wherever, and it's just dude, why are you being like this? And everybody is trying to talk about the aftermath. Todrick is telling Misha that she needs to talk to Todd because she can, quote, understand him better because she's a straight woman and he's straight. And I was like, what? I was like, what is going on? Todrick is just embarrassing the Black community. I just cannot take it. I wish Chris and Shayna fumbled on Monday by not backdooring Todrick. This was just so stupid. And then they end up backdooring themselves as a result of their silliness. It was just too much. It was just absolutely too much. Chris is calm, however. He is very calm. Probably the most calm person I've ever seen on the block that is 99.9% going. Unless they put a stop or pull some type of twist last minute to keep Chris on the show. Because nothing else makes sense. Because I thought that it would have been Todd that would have been the replacement nom, but obviously it wasn't. Or maybe now that I'm seeing Misha kind of replay everything back, because remember I had said in a previous video that Todrick was really pushing for Chris to be the renom. Maybe based off of the conversation that Misha had with Chris, and since he wasn't being as forthcoming, that he would outright vote out Carson. That's when she felt that she needed to put him up. But all of the energy is just completely off right now. Everything is chaos. Misha went to go check on Cynthia in the aftermath because Cynthia's pretty much been in her bed and sleeping, for the most part after all of this. And so she goes to check on her. But see, here's the problem with Misha's social game. She comes in under the guise to check on Cynthia and, try to build some type of rapport, try to build some sort of bond and this and that. And then she switches it on to talk about Shayna and how Shayna's a big threat. And why is everybody looking at me when Shayna's won 2 competitions too? And I'm like, girl, see, this is what I mean. She can't turn off, between being a real person and having a personality and being empathetic versus being in game mode, being in competition mode and everything else all the time. And that is why the whole house is gunning for you, because you literally locked yourself in your HOH room the first 2 weeks. I think it was for 12 or 13 days she was HOH, and basically was in her HOH room and did not acknowledge anyone. And now that she sees that she needs social capital, she needs to have friends in the jury to help vote for her if she is in one of those final two chairs. Now it's all of these awkward conversations. And literally just moments ago, they were all like sitting at the table. Somebody's playing solitaire. And why are you playing solitaire in a group of people sitting at the table? Like, it's just all awkward, man. And then Misha, she wants to be more visible, more present. Like, she even slept, in the Gold Rush room or whatever the room it's called, and let Todrick sleep in her HOH room last night to try to be more down with everybody else. But the problem is, it just makes it more awkward because she has no social capabilities. She has no social skills. She knows she doesn't like these people. She knows she doesn't want to get to know them on a personal level. So therefore, it just looks disingenuous, and it's just nothing but awkward silence. Like, it's just a hot mess. But I think things had got so bad with the Cynthia and Todd situation that Misha had felt sorry for Cynthia and wanted to make sure all of her soldiers are voting to keep Cynthia now. But I still don't trust it. I still feel like there is something else going on to where Chris Kirkpatrick is going to end up staying. That is what my gut is telling me. I feel as though they're going to try to spin this as, well, we already had an elimination this week, technically. Well, technically it wasn't an elimination, but somebody had already quit anyways. So we met our quota of 2 people being gone this week. So we're just going to reset the week, or, we're just going to replay and have you guys go straight to the HOH comp, and Misha's ineligible or something. I don't know. But I feel like something weird is about to happen tomorrow, because we have another 2-hour episode, of course, on Fridays. So I have no idea what shenanigans are going to occur, but today has been like the livest it's ever been on feeds. Cynthia and Todd end up having a conversation. I low-key got not pissed at Cynthia, but I'm pissed at the situation in that Cynthia felt that she needed to apologize to Todd, who's going around calling Cynthia a hood rat, who's going around threatening to harm her, harm her or her husband outside of here. And it's just too much. And you already know Todd's got a rap sheet. Todd Bridges has a rap sheet. Look it up. He stabbed somebody before. Like, he's done all kinds of stuff to people. So he was not joking about, what is going to be handled in the streets. But you don't threaten people. And you don't threaten people in Big Brother. So I am very shocked that, CBS didn't intervene. It looks like the only thing that they did do was give people some downers, because everybody looks zoned out now. Everybody looks completely zoned out. They look like they have low energy and are basically zombies right now compared to the activity that we were seeing earlier this afternoon. Like, it is just a complete 180 of what is taking place in this house. And it's just wild to me that, Todd is so manipulative. It is such a Gemini of him to turn on, like, it's giving me Kanye, it's giving me Donald Trump, when you effed up, when you did something bad, but you have a way of manipulating the situation so that you're the victim, so that you're the person that everybody should be feeling sorry for, because we went from Misha feeling sorry for Cynthia all day to one conversation with Todd, and she's just giving in to his manipulative tactics, and I'm like, no. Like, see, this is what we're not going to do, and this is the problem. Like, us as Black women, we always have to be forgiving and always apologize and always do this stuff. But what about the apology from the person that actually started all this? And the person who gaslit the situation, and the person who was in your face. And even, Carson, I think, was asking, what were you going to do in her face? What were you trying to do? And he was like, well, I just wanted to tell her, F you. And so Cynthia's like, well, F me. Well, F you too. Like, basically the F word, but I'm not obviously going to say that. But it was just craziness. It was just craziness, and it was just wild. You don't need to get into somebody's face to say F you too. Like, seriously, or F you. And I just wanted to give you the F you, was like the direct quote from Todd Bridges. And I'm like, oh my gosh. See, I knew he was going to crack. And this is what happens. But what is the criteria for future seasons? Because I have no idea what is going to take place after this. There has just been so many things that have happened in this house. And now, allegedly, there is a pee-gate situation with Chris Kattan. He allegedly peed in the jacuzzi. I don't know if that was his parting gift on the way out of the door from the Big Brother house or what is going on. But it's just a lot, you guys. It is a lot going on. And they're talking about, the cast is talking about they're bored. I'm like, no, you're entertaining us because you guys are all a hot mess right now. And Todrick's the biggest hot mess of all because he has deluded himself into thinking that he is on the same level as the other people that are in the house, that he is on the same game level as Misha when he hasn't won anything, he hasn't done anything, and he thinks he's running the show. And it's like, no, you are riding Misha's coattails. But he's trying to also blame Misha as well because now he's like, I feel the energy is different and everybody's coming after me because of my association with you. And it's like, no, the issue is you're a liar. The issue is you played both sides. You tried to double deal. Everybody knows your game. Teddy exposed it first. And people don't feel like confronting you because all you do is lie. So people don't want to waste a conversation with you. So it's just crazy. And then Lamar, I don't know if he's playing an Ozza game. I'm not sure what's happening. I don't know if he's going to Ozza his way to Final 2 by just telling people to their face, like, what he's going to do and just not caring. Like, I have no idea what his strategy is. First, he came in playing like he was a dumb athlete and had no idea what was happening when he really did. And, you know, was complaining and wanted to go home and this and that. But now all of a sudden he's in game mode. He's in competition mode. He wants to put up Misha and Todrick if he wins HOH. And he's telling anybody that will listen that is easily going to go back and tell Misha and Todrick. Like, it's all just wild, man. It is all just wild. And I am just cracking up at Misha because instead of her thinking of, you know, alternative ways, even if she is on the block, to ensure her safety and try to build up some social capital, try to build some relationship with these people, instead she's trying to throw other people under the bus and trying to throw people under the bus that she wasn't even cool with to begin with. Like, earlier she was basically not taking Shayna seriously prior to the veto meeting, didn't think she was going to use it, or, you know, thought she was a dumb blonde. Her words, not mine. And then she basically shook the table to where Misha and Todrick are now, like, they're completely cracked after this veto ceremony. They are completely cracked. They have lost their minds and they don't know how to recover because they understand that it's the house against them, that they have backed themselves into a corner so that now everybody wants to take them out. And, you know, Todd just basically does whatever. Like, he's like a non-factor to me. But it's just crazy, man. It is just crazy what happened today. There's just been so much madness, man. So much madness. But yeah, I'm just happy that we just get all these scenes in the pink room, because I think that might be my favorite room, besides the HOH room and the sauna room this season. But I'm here for it. You know, I'm here for the Tres Amigas, for Carson, Shayna, and Cynthia to, you know, try to bulldoze their way and get out Misha and Todrick as soon as possible. And then they can take out Todd as well and everything else. I still feel like I said, I'm still unsure whether or not Chris Kirkpatrick really is going to go. I feel like something weird is going to happen because it's not even just, you know, a potential twist to help save, you know, Chris and Cynthia so there's nothing to worry about, or like do just like another HOH or whatever. But the thing about it is there's a specific schedule, right? So usually there's a double eviction. Usually there's all these things. And with, you know, this random departure of, you know, Chris Kattan, that just puts some different things into perspective of what could possibly take place. Is that they may still want to have a double eviction, so they may cancel tomorrow's eviction. So we just don't know. Like, it's so many possibilities, and we know Grodner loves her some Misha, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility of her, you know, trying to help out Misha and keep Chris or whatever, even though they're kind of at odds right now. But it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. And then there's like some weird comments coming from Chris Kirkpatrick to the ladies. Like, so you guys remember that allegedly him and Mariah got into it, and one of the reasons was she tried to say that he was creepy and was looking at her weird while she was in the shower, and he's been making a lot of weird comments lately to Shayna. Like today he said he wanted to get a tattoo of Shayna's centerfold, like her Playboy pictures where she's naked, butt naked. Why do you need that if you have a wife and child at home in Tennessee? Like, what is going on? What is happening? This is giving me Christmas and Memphis vibes, where they have all this connection. They're connecting really well. However, they have other significant others on the outside, allegedly, and something's going to pop off postseason. I thought for sure that we were going to get a showmance of Lamar and Shayna, and they were going to get revenge on the Kardashians. I thought that was going to be the storyline arc. I thought that's why they both were casted. However, I don't even know if Lamar has put two and two together of who Shayna is, and the fact that her ex-husband is with, you know, his ex-sister-in-law. I don't think he's put those pieces together yet, but it's just crazy. It is just absolutely crazy. And also, on a sad note, Lamar had some kind things to say about Kobe and how, you know, Kobe always told him, you know, to always be the best that you can be in this and that. And they had a conversation earlier, Lamar and Todd, about, you know, how the college players are getting paid now for their likeness and this and that. So, but yeah, that was just like a touching, you know, moment to just mention a little bit about Kobe there. And it looks like they didn't sign the release, or the Kardashians did not authorize them to be talked about, because now when Lamar Odom mentions them, the feed's cut. So clearly we can't hear anything. But a funny comment that happened was Carson said the other night that Lamar, he's like, Lammy kiss me, and I felt like I was like the next Chloe. And I was like Carson cannot go anywhere. Carson, Cynthia need to stay as long as possible in this house, because they are just a dynamic duo and they are hilarious. So I hope they can find a way to get to the end. I truly do. Shayna is gaming like crazy now, so we will see what happens. I think now her confidence is up that she's won her second competition, and, you know, the odds are in the favor of the other side of the house winning tomorrow, since Misha will not be eligible to play, and it's unlikely that Todd is going to win an HOH anytime soon. And unless Lamar has been throwing HOHs this entire time, it depends on the comp. So we'll just have to see what happens and go from there. But I am very curious to, you know, see what takes place tomorrow, see how this live eviction unfolds, if it even is an eviction, or how they're going to address the situation. Because they can edit this any way they want to. They can edit this to make it seem as though, you know, Chris Kattan was evicted, or I mean, who even knows at this point? So this all could be very, very interesting. So more to come on that, but let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think of this Cynthia and Todd situation? What do you think about them getting into this argument? And what do you think of the fallout? Because this is like the most that we've had feeds in the couple weeks the show's been on. And this has been the most entertained that we've been. But it's just been so much going on. And it's just been also weird at the same time, because everybody's just cracked in different ways. Like, it's like realization has set in for Misha that her social game is trash. Realization has set in for Todrick that nobody likes him. However, he's trying to make it seem like he has allies, but really he doesn't, because you should be celebrating that you got Chris Kirkpatrick on the block, but really it doesn't change anything, because Shayna and others still see you and Misha as a duo. So it doesn't even matter at this point that you got Chris Kirkpatrick backdoored, because everybody else is still gunning for you and Misha anyways. So it's all just very interesting. I hope Todrick is the next boot, because I am just tired of him and his negative comments about black people. Like, I am just over it. And his own self-hatred, I'm just over it. And so now you guys know that Hannah is house sitting, you know, from the cookout at his house, and Kylan is there. And now guess who's there? Rohan flew in from Canada because he was on BB Can season 9 this past season. So I'm just like, wow, just wow. And sidebar, I can't wait for BB Can 10 to start because the casting last season was spectacular. So I expect another amazing season. But yeah, we'll just see what happens. Cynthia is packing like she is ready to go, like she is definitely going, and everybody keeps trying to tell her that she's staying, but I think she's just one of those, she has to believe it to see it. And so here we are. So those are all the thoughts that I have. Please let me know what you guys think. It's just been a wild day. The feeds have been lit most of today. And we've gotten some good game talk as well. So please let me know what you guys think. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again soon.